versatile jigging tactics produce bass in nearly all conditions. Learn how to match jig style, tackle, and retrieve to bass behavior in precision bass jigging, part of our Angling Edge instructional DVD collection available at anglingedge.com.
Throughout the year, numerous factors combine to determine a fish's ability or willingness to chase down lures. And because fish are cold-blooded, water temperature is often foremost among them. Just imagine what it would be like to generate some get up and go with a body temperature of only 42 degrees Fahrenheit.
Big fish.
Fish, however, must adjust their feeding habits according to their environment. They simply have no alternative. Consequently, if you fail to adjust your presentation to match the mood of the fish, they'll likely just watch it go right on by.
One more jump. Look at that gal, huh? That's a donkey and a half. One big bass. You know, oftentimes, the whole difference in having great days, good days on the water are little things, paying attention to little things. The fish are always telling you something, whether you're getting bit or not. And in many cases, when it comes to bass fishing, or in fact any kind of vertical fishing, drop speed often is the absolute key to a successful day on the water.
There we go. I've had about enough of that. Al's actually has me 5-0. I'm going to go down. I ate a half-ounce jig, and I think that bait was just falling a little bit too quickly. Right now, the temperature of the water is quite cool, and I think it's going to make a big difference. Realistically, we carry jigs in our tackle box for that range anywhere from as light as 1/16 up to 1 1/4 ounce for fishing real thick or dense weed cover. But realistically, throughout the course of the year, we'll use just about every one of these jig weights in various fishing situations. And right now, with that water temperature being cool and the fish are really starting to get inactive, the lighter the bait is going to be really critical, and I'll see if it'll make any difference. I think Al's got another one.
Every time you go to talk on camera, I get a bite, and it's a good one. Just keep talking, James, while I keep fishing.
There we go. And I'm even putting on the green mud critter. I've been fighting it here for a little bit, and I haven't been getting any bites. And we'll see if it'll make a difference. And it won't take long, I would imagine. We'll see.
A lot of times you're actually fishing for these little light, tiny jigs like this. The bait is actually coasting down. It's just kind of fluttering down, and you get a little wind like we got now, and you're kind of quartering it. And when you lift it up off the bottom, it's more of a glide than that up and down drop. And when you get a strike on these baits like this, it's never that thunk like you feel in summer when you're flipping a big jig in weeds and you're pop jigging to trigger a fish in cover. When they hit it, you know it. The rod goes boom right into your handle. You feel it. With these light jigs where they're falling real slow, a lot of cases all you feel is lack of something. The bait feels completely different, and the fish just inhale the bait and keep swimming away real slow with it.
There's one, finally. Look at the size one. That's a nice
What do I hear
bass
going
there.
on back there?
That's a good one there. Come here, buddy. Sort of interesting, you know what? I was actually fishing a little bit of heavier weight. I actually was using about a half-ounce weight. Now it's just kicking my butt. And I turned around and put that tiny tee on with a mud critter, and look what I caught actually in the whole thing. What is? It's interesting because I sat back for the last 15 minutes and he probably caught maybe 6 or 8 fish, bam, 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 just repetitively. And I wasn't catching any. I'm saying, what, there's something going wrong and I'm not doing it right. But what I did is I shrunk down the size of the actual head weight on the size of the bait. Beautiful bass though. Let's get her back.
A variety of factors can affect the overall drop speed of any jig you pull out of your tackle box. Head weight is by far the biggest factor that really dictates how a bait will move in the water. We carry a large selection of jigs ranging on the light end, 1/16 of an ounce, to heavy weights of 1 1/8 ounce for heavy cover or deep water situations. Al's using a 3/32 ounce VMC Dominator Half Moon jig rigged with a Berkeley 4-inch mud critter. The Dominator series has a wide variety of heads which include half moons, shaky heads, and moon eye jigs specially designed for soft bait fishing for bass. I'm using a 1/8 ounce tiny teed Terminator jig and a 4-inch mud critter. The mud critter has a lot of bulk and appendages which creates water resistance and lift in the water. Trailer size is another factor to slow or speed the bait movement. In general, large, bulky baits slow drop speed, while thin profiles tend to fall fast and erratic. A lot of anglers probably do not realize line weight can also affect the drop speed too. Overall, heavier pound test line has more water resistance and will help slow the fall of the bait.
You know, in a given season, I catch an awful lot of my fish on vertical baits. I like fishing vertical baits. The most important part of choosing a vertical bait and experimenting with the weight and bulk and what you do with that bait to control the drop speed. It can make the whole difference between a good day or what I think we're gonna have a great day. Pretty hot fishing, Jim.
Versatile jigging tactics produce bass in nearly all conditions. Learn how to match jig style, tackle, and retrieve to bass behavior in precision bass jigging. Part of our Angling Edge instructional DVD collection available at anglingedge.com.